Today we are covering Iraq, specifically Iraqi Kurdistan. I can't speak for the whole of Iraq, but I can speak for Iraqi Kurdistan. Iraqi Kurdistan, if you don't know, if you haven't seen my videos, is a semi-autonomous region in the northeast of Iraq, bordering Syria, Turkey, and Iran. It's a completely different ethnic group to the rest of Iraq. They are Kurdish people there, not Arab people. So I recently spent a bit of time in Iraqi Kurdistan. I was lucky enough to explore the capital city of Erbil, which is a beautiful city with a lot to see, amazing markets, amazing food, get a really good mixture of kind of the old and the new. The classic old town with the old fortress, there's bazaars and markets, street food, everything, shisha bars, but there is also a whole other side to Iraqi Kurdistan that you might not know of. There are 5-star steakhouses, cafe culture. There are cars rolling around like Mercedes and Bentleys, which I found very interesting to see driving around in a region where most people would presume that it's a poverty-stricken region, but it's absolutely not the case. And then I was lucky enough to actually go out into the country, into the mountains, go to the highest waterfall in the entire country actually. We went camping on the side of this valley. I was lucky enough to meet a soldier who fought against ISIS and some other terrible wars in the past. It was just overall such an authentic experience. That soldier actually ended up inviting us into his home and cooked us food with his 2 wives and his like 16 children, or I can't remember the number, 14 children. If you haven't seen all those videos, they will be linked down below, but it was an amazing trip. So I feel like I have a reasonable idea of safety and traveling in the country of Iraqi Kurdistan. So safety, I felt extremely safe the whole time. There was a moment when I heard some airstrikes, Turkish airstrikes in a bordering valley, but as far as what I was told and for how I personally felt, I felt really safe because they weren't targeting this region. It was a separate thing going on. So take that for what it's worth. I want to let you guys know there's still a bit of unrest in the area. If you use common sense and talk to the locals, then that's the best way to get around. Throughout this video, I'll put a few clips inserted in between the video so you can see some people talking about the country, so you can get more of a perspective than just mine.
You feel the difference between what you see on the news and what you see here. So it's a free country, beautiful landscape, mountains, rivers, valleys, a lot of beautiful places, no dangers at all, nothing to be worried about. Just bring your backpack with yourself and leave the rest for me. I'll show you the most beautiful spots in Kurdistan and you will be amazed by our beautiful nature. I promise you that. Alrighty, so cool. Tea time.
The locals are very welcoming. As far as prices, it's reasonably priced. I think the standard price for like a reasonably okay hotel room, nothing special, is like 30-40 USD a night in the city. You can pay way more than that, and I believe you can pay less than that. You can pay a lot of money there. It's really, the sky's the limit. They have luxurious hotels there. As far as food is super cheap. If you eat like I did, I bought so much falafel there, because if you guys know, if you follow my videos, you know how much I love falafel. I got like all these boxes of falafel for like $10. It was absolutely amazing. Otherwise, you can spend more, just like I was saying, you can spend less. You can really get by on a small amount of money when it comes to food. I bought fresh strawberries for like $1 for like a kilogram or something. There's lots of different varieties of food. So I guess it wouldn't be really fair if I didn't cover the topic of ISIS. It played a huge role in recent history in these regions. The Kurdish military is owed a lot of respect from the world for what they did in helping bring down ISIS. I mean, there's still traces of ISIS here and there, but from what they used to be, it's microscopic. So we owe a lot of that to the Kurds actually. So basically I just have to cover it because otherwise I know I'm going to get people commenting. I did cover it in the videos. ISIS is pretty much eradicated in the region, thankfully. This leads on to another big factor of traveling in Iraqi Kurdistan. There are a lot of checkpoints, a lot of checkpoints. So if you see a large military presence, don't take that as something negative, like it's a threat to you, because it's the complete opposite. They're there for your safety. The capital city of Erbil, where all the embassies and all the important governmental buildings are, so it is fully locked down. To get into that city or get out of that city, you have to go through several checkpoints, and no matter where you're driving in Kurdistan, you will come across checkpoints. And again, that's to control the move of people. to stop something like ISIS getting out of control again. Be prepared to see a lot of guns, but know that those guns are there to protect you and the people of the country. The nature, guys, in Kurdistan is absolutely beautiful. You have huge mountains. There's even a 5-star ski resort there. You can go skiing, or you can have a nice meal on top of this mountain. You can do what I did. You can go camping. I will leave my friend Rakan's link down below, and if you can look him up if you want him to show you around. You can also go mountain biking, you can go rafting, you can do all this fun outdoor stuff in Iraqi Kurdistan. Camping was amazing. I'll leave all my Iraq videos linked below so you can check them out and see what I'm talking about, because it was a absolutely unreal experience. As far as the visa goes, guys, for many countries it's visa on arrival. I will leave the link down below and you can check up on it and see if you're one of the countries that is allowed in. I know for sure that United States is allowed in on arrival for 30 days, and I know that New Zealand is, and I think majority of European Union countries, but I'll leave the link down below so you can know if your country is one of the visas on arrival. Super easy process, stamped straight in, no questions for me at least. You can use international credit cards in Iraq, which is amazing because in Iran you can't because of the US sanctions. That is one big plus, so you can withdraw money from the ATMs, and you can also pay with card at hotels, and you can book the hotels on booking.com. They also have Airbnb there. Those are two big things. I will leave my Airbnb link down below. If you sign up to Airbnb with that link, then we both get like a discount, 30 or 40 US dollars or so. So if you're traveling anywhere in the world, actually, you can use that link, and it's a really good way to kind of get a nice discount for free. So yeah, if you can either use Airbnb or booking.com or whatever booking website you want in Erbil. There's heaps of hotels to choose from, so that makes it a lot easier in that respect to traveling in Iran. One really bad thing about getting a taxi from the airport is that they have the monopoly. So there's this taxi company, I think they charge like $25 for like only a few kilometer drive, but to get back from the city you can use a normal taxi, and that costs like $5 or something. So that's just how it is. Unless you know somebody in the city that can pick you up from the airport, then that's kind of how you have to play it, sadly. That was one quite negative thing. I thought that you're basically forced to take a taxi for $25 from the airport, when the actual price of a taxi is like $5 if you get it back from the city. So, but can't really complain too much. One negative among all these positives. People that are at home, maybe in Europe or the US or anywhere else, watching this video, and they're wondering if Iraq is safe, or this part of Iraq at least, Erbil and Iraqi Kurdistan, what would you tell them?
Especially this part of Iraq, so Kurdistan is very safe, and yeah, it's actually a safe place to come in to visit, and yeah, I don't know, you should be careful sometimes, but like in general it's safe.
I hope that gives you a rough idea of the country. Not too in depth, but I just wanted to hit on the most important points that stuck out for me. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. But what I would say is try to take everything you see in the media with a grain of salt. Yes, some of these things might be going on, and whose fault they are, I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to get into a political conversation, but these political disputes should not necessarily impact or influence your decisions about the people of the country, or about the nature of the country, or about what this country really has to offer. Iraq, and also for Iran, Iraq and Iran are not just one big desert with a bunch of people who want to hurt you. Not at all. I know most of you know this, but just to get that message out, it's really the opposite. They're very diverse countries with very diverse people as well. People of all backgrounds. 99.9% of them are absolutely lovely. They just want to help you. They want to, you know, get to know you, learn about your culture. They want you to learn about their culture, and, you know, just have fun and enjoy each other's company. And you know, that should be really be the message of these videos that I've been putting out, that you can go to these places and you can meet local people, and they're not that far from you. For example, I'll take the young man Lucas, who showed me around Iraqi Kurdistan, the capital of Erbil. We were talking about, we watch the same YouTube channels, you know, we're into the same things. You know, we talked about like things like fitness and just things that many people would not expect people from these parts of the world to be so knowledgeable on and to be interested in. And maybe they have the same feeling when somebody from the West comes and they're interested in these parts of, you know, Middle Eastern culture, and they know some of the history and stuff. And then you can have this kind of exchange, you know. It's a really beautiful thing. So I would really recommend definitely visiting Iraqi Kurdistan and Iran, guys. That sums it up for this video, guys. I will see you in the next video. I just want to say a huge thank you to the Iraqi Kurdistan people for welcoming me into your country and also welcoming all other foreigners into your country and being so hospitable. I have a huge trip coming up, guys, but I will have another video going up before that trip. So I will see you in that video and we'll talk more details, blah, blah, blah. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Travel to Iraqi Kurdistan and Iran if you want to see real magic and a kind of undiscovered beauty of the world. Peace out. Thank you for watching.